Hello, welcome. My name is Jenny. Thank you so much for joining me for today's favorite oil. Today we're going to be talking about Vetiver. I love Vetiver. It's a great one for mental health, emotions, calming, grounding, things along those lines. It's actually in a few of our blends to begin with. So first of all, our emotional blend called Peace, which is our reassuring blend. It is actually one of the main ones that I do recommend for those that are dealing with anxiety or things along those lines. It's also in our focus blend, which is called In Tune. So a great one to help with the focus and concentration, or maybe a little pick-me-up in the afternoon just to help maintain that focus later on in the workday. It's also in our monthly blend. So to give you an idea, again, just some the other usages that you can use this particular oil for. Now this one is in our 20 products that have been approved here in Canada. So I'm going to go over a couple pieces of information and I'm going to give you extra knowledge. But in this particular book for Vetiver, some of the main claims. So first of all, topical, applied to feet after a long day of standing. After a difficult school day, apply to your child's neck and feet. Is rich in sesquiterpenes, so I'll talk to you about that in a second. Before traveling or for business or relaxation, diffuse 1 to 2 drops of vetiver with lemon. Use as an earthy base note in your favorite do-it-yourself diffuser blends. And also used in many popular perfumes. So again, perfumes, they are actually, they used to be for healing purposes. So that's another awesome thing about using essential oils for perfumes is you get the extra side benefits. But I want to take a moment to talk about sesquiterpenes. This is a particular molecule or a chemical constituent that is found in some of these particular oils, especially vetiver, frankincense, cedarwood, things along those lines. And all of those are great for mental health. Now, what sesquiterpenes do, first of all, they are a really, really tiny molecule, so they're actually able to penetrate the blood-brain barrier, which, as we know, we need to protect the brain. So there are not many things that can actually penetrate the blood-brain barrier. So just to give you an idea of how awesome this particular chemical compound or constituent is, it's actually able to pass the blood-brain barrier. And what sesquiterpenes do, there's a couple things. So first of all, it actually helps to bring oxygen to the cells, which they need to do their thing. So kind of similar to hemoglobin in our blood. That's what the sesquiterpenes are doing. They also actually help to eradicate or erase new programs or misinformed programs. So every single one of our cells has a genetic code in our DNA and our RNA. Over time, different things can adjust and alter this code. It could be our emotions, it could be our belief systems, it could be toxins that are brought into the body, things along these lines. But basically, over time, a cell that is a cancer cell or things along these lines, they're basically just a cell that somewhere along the lines their code was rewritten. So what sesquiterpenes can actually do is erase that jarbled piece of information or that jarbled code. So it stops it in its tracks. So again, in regards to a cancer cell, stops that that code of creating cancer and also stops it from growing. The amount of oxygen that is also brought into these spaces also helps to create an environment that cancer can't grow. So just a couple things in regards to sesquiterpenes and cancer. But I will also mention in regards to ADD and ADHD or autism, I'm not grouping those all together. I'm just stating ADHD, ADD, and autism. Those are specific diagnoses that are coming up a lot lately. And there's a lot of medications that are being used, such as Ritalin and things along those lines that are actually long-term. They can create drug addictions and psychosis within people that are using them. So there's a lot more side effects to using those particular things that are basically just controlling as opposed to getting to the root or just bringing about focus. I was reading up on some different studies recently, and one that I actually found compared vetiver, cedarwood, and lavender. So there were 6 different people that used the cedarwood, 6 different that did the vetiver, and 6 different that did the lavender. And based on these different tests, they actually showed that lavender actually was able to bring about 53% improve in focus and concentration and performance. Cedarwood was at 83%, so that's also really high. But vetiver was up at 100% improvement in focus and performance. So just to give you an idea of why this one might be something that you could reach for if you're dealing with somebody who's a little bit more hyperactive or have a little bit more extra energy. So if you need to help bring about focus concentration, vetiver is an amazing one to use for that. I will read you a little bit from our Essential Oil Life book, which is our little essential oil Bible. So this is our vetiver. Okay, so some of the top usages that, again, some of these haven't been approved as claims, but again, something that has been used for thousands of years, so we'll just pass on different possible usages for vetiver. So first of all, the very main one is ADHD, ADD, focus and concentration. So this is a great one to apply with, to combine with lavender, applying to the bottoms of the feet, the neck, the back of the neck, just under the skull, or even just to diffuse it. So using it in your diffuser to have it blast around the air. It's great for people dealing with anorexia, so applying topically to the feet and spine or diffuse. Vitiligo, so apply topically to the affected areas of the skin. Tuberculosis, apply to feet and spine and diffuse aromatically. Insomnia, applying topically to the bottoms of the feet or the spine and diffuse aromatically for a more restful sleep. So that's one of the main usages that Eric and I have been using it for. Breast enlargement, who would have thought? You can dilute and apply this topically to the breast for a natural breast enlargement. There you go. PTSD, depression and anxiety. So again, great one to combine with Melissa. Again, you'll also find this in our Peace blend, which I mentioned earlier, which is the reassuring blend. Great for postpartum depression. Stretch marks, discoloration of the skin and scars. And in regards to emotional balance, if you're feeling ungrounded, this one will help you to feel rooted. Okay, so that's for vetiver. Again, lots of great things in regards to mental health, focus, concentration, sleep, and again, those sesquiterpenes, which are awesome for basically getting your cells to go back to their original programming that they had when they first started. If you have any questions about vetiver, please let me know. Give me a shout. I would also love to help you out if you need any recommendations for a physical and or an emotional health concern. And if you have any suggestions or feedback, feel free to give me a shout. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!